Hi everyone, today I am telling about the beginning of the Mauryan Empire, about Chanakya and about the first king, Chandragupta Maurya. At first, Chanakya was a person who came from the Nanda Empire. And one day he said to the king that I am going to build the greatest empire of all India. And he left. Then one day he saw a boy playing as the king of Nanda dynasty, and there are two more kids pretending to be as the ministers. When Chanakya wanted to test the kid who was pretending to be the Nanda Empire's king, and he asked him a question. He told the appropriate answer. So Chanakya took the kid to Pataliputra to start the new kingdom. But after a few months, the Alexander conquered Pataliputra, so they stopped doing their work. And he saw the Nanda dynasty, and his soldiers were afraid to attack. So he went back, and after 2 years he died. So his kingdom was separated, and then immediately the kid and Chanakya started expanding their kingdom. They made a new kingdom called the Mauryan Empire, and the kid is none other than the Chandragupta Maurya. And they expanded their kingdom so large, and then they expanded the kingdom, and then they wanted to attack the capital of Nanda Empire straight away. Then they saw that their forces were really strong, so they came back from war without fighting. Then one day he saw a kid's mother telling him how to drink a hot soup. He was drinking the soup, and then he burned his lips. Then his mother said, "Don't be like Chandragupta, directly going to the middle. First drink the edges of the soup where it is cold, then go to the center." So Chandragupta Maurya got inspired by these words and started to conquer the Nanda's empire, the outskirts of the Nanda's empire first, and after that he slowly entered into the middle and captured the center, the capital. Now the Mauryan Empire is so big. Meanwhile, in the Alexander's empire, he divided and he gave some land to a person to take care of that land, and he and all of those people fought each other to see who would get the whole land. And one person won. He wanted to fight against the Mauryan Empire, which Alexander could not do. And when he went to war, it was a 2 years war, and then at last the Chandragupta Maurya won against the Germans. So this is it. Bye guys. And tomorrow I'm going to tell you about Bindusara, who is Chandragupta Maurya's son, and he got the king when he was very little age. I'm going to tell about him tomorrow. Bye. Today I'm going to tell you about the Bindusara, Chandragupta Maurya's son. In the previous video I told you about Chandragupta Maurya. So now I'm going to tell you in this video about his son. Bindusara got the crown when he was a very little age, and he had relationships with far off lands in the Europe like Greece, Rome, etc. So he had good trainings with them, and that is the reason the Britishers came to India, and they saw how the kings are doing. They observed the weakness of our kings, and they struck us, and they ruled for 200 years. The first 100 years they were looking and they were seeing what was the weakness of India to capture them. So the other 100 years they ruled over our world. But we are talking about Bindusara. Now Bindusara mostly liked his eldest son Shushim, which Ashoka was his youngest son. So Ashoka wanted to talk to his father every time and he wanted to interact with him, but his father would just ignore him all the time. And he would like Sushim more. One day, while Sushim was riding a horse, he hit a bald minister on his head, and he went laughing to the kingdom. Then the minister thought, if he is hitting me right now and laughing, what will he do to the whole kingdom when he is the king? And he went to the king and told the same. But the king did not want to change the next king. Bindusara wanted Shushim to be the next king. But the ministers and everybody, they did not like it. So Ashoka, they wanted Ashoka to be the king. So they are like cheering Ashoka, you can do it. And then when Shushim got to know all this and Bindusara got to know all this, Bindusara was really angry because he wanted his eldest son to get the kingship. But unfortunately, one day when he was coughing and he was very old age, the ministers came to him and they said that Shushim is not suitable for the next king. Who is the next king? Because of this, the Ashoka got 4 years less time, and after that he got the throne. In those 4 years, Bindusara did not know to whom he has to give the crown. So nobody has led the Chandragupta Maurya for those 4 years. the Mauryan Empire for the 4 years. And then one day he said to the ministers were saying that he's not suitable for the crown, and then he said, call my son. He didn't mention which son. So the ministers cleverly, they went to Ashoka, not to Shushim. They went to Ashoka and they called Ashoka here. Then Ashoka said, father. Then his father was really angry on the ministers and his son. So there was a sword backside of his bed. So he wanted to get that. But when he was trying to grab it, he fell out of the bed and he died at that time. So now we don't know who is the king, Ashoka or Shushim. Then Ashoka took the crown when his father died. Then Shushim knew about this. He got to know about this recently, and then after he got to know about that, they went to war. Ashoka's army was so big, and then Shushim got a little afraid at first, but he didn't fear to war against his younger brother. He thought that he could win. He could get the crown. But then when they started fighting, the Shushim army was coming with the horses they were fighting on the sand. So Shushim observed one thing. The sand is not usual in its appearance. It's like a bit different. But he was too late to observe that. He just observed it and the trap opened. Ashoka put a trap to kill his brother. So the trap opened and underneath was a huge fire, which with that fire, his brother and all the armies died. Now Ashoka is the new king. Thank you guys. I'm going to tell about Ashoka, Bindusara's son, in the next video. Bye. Hi everyone. Today I'm going to tell you about India's most famous ruler, King Ashoka the Great. And in the last episode I told you that he got the crown, and after that he had many brothers. So he trapped all his brothers and cruelly he killed them all. After he killed them all, that time he was so cruel that once he said trees that bear good fruits and nice flowers, and leave the thorn. His ministers disobeyed him, and they asked it so many times, "We don't want to do this," but he said, "Do what I say, and by the way, call me Samrat." Then they did what he said, and he was really cruel. One time, he captured whole of India except for Kalinga. Only this place was not captured by Ashoka. So he wanted to capture that too. And he started the war. It was 2 years war, and Ashoka won. But there were 150,000 people died in that war. 150,000 people means 150,000 people died in the war, and the blood was flowing like a river. Then a woman came, and she is shouting her husband's and her children's names. "Where are you?" she's asking. Then Ashoka came there, and he opened his mind. He was like, "I'm doing the wrong thing. I should not be cruel." Then the woman said, You are the reason why my husband and children died. What did I do to bear this? Then the ministers beside him who took him to the place, they said, "Speak with respect because you're speaking with the king." Then she got really angry and she wanted to fight back the king. Then she said, "You traitor, you traitor." Then Ashoka felt really sad about all the people who have died, and he went to his palace and he cried. Then a monk appeared. The monk was none other than Shushim's son, Ashoka's eldest brother's son, and he was the monk who taught Ashoka Buddhism. He learned Buddhism and he spreaded Buddhism to all the people. He said, "Always be in peace," which made him one of the greatest kings of all time. He made some monuments, and he made the Ashoka pillar, which on top there's a symbol, the 4 lions, which is represented on our currency, and the Ashoka Chakra is represented in our national flag. Those 22 strokes represent each one of the 24 strokes represent one thing. And then Ashoka became his descendants, that means his successors, were not strong enough to rule such a vast kingdom. So it led to the downfall of the Mauryan empires. And the Shakas and Kushanas, they came to war with the Mauryan Empire and defeated the Mauryan Empire. But when Ashoka changed, he created hospitals for the animals, and he made many providings. He took tax-free villages for the Brahmins and the priests, and he was a great ruling king. Thank you guys. See you in the next video.